So as you know, this channel is largely about working with virtual assistants, but we try to provide lots of other tips for small business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs as well. The topic this week is, for a virtual assistant, what makes a good client? Do you think you'd make a good client or a bad client? We're going to be talking about that with one of our virtual assistants coming right up. Okay, so we're going to talk to one of our virtual assistants at Virtual Done Well about what makes a good client and what makes a bad client. And we're going to be talking online today to Maria. Hey Maria, how are you going?
Hi Rob, I feel great. I feel a little bit nervous.
A bit nervous being on video. Don't be nervous. So we're going to be talking, now this is not rehearsed or anything, so I don't know what you're going to say, but I'm curious to know what you think makes a good client or a bad client for a VA. And you've been at Virtual Done Well now for a while, but you have worked in other BPOs as a VA. So let's spill the beans. Let's not mention client names, but what have been some really good experience of working virtually with clients or bad ones?
Well, first and foremost, as far as I have observed, I think one of the best qualities of a good client is actually the one who maintains or keeps an open communication with the employees. I mean, clients and the employees, we all have different races, different background, orientation. So yeah, I believe that constant communication actually brings down the walls. And in order for the client and the employees to be able to synergize their ideas and stuff like that, because in order to work well as client and employees, and especially we're oceans apart. So yeah, I think communication is really important.
That's a really good point. So what's been your experience with clients in the past about how they've done that well? How do they communicate? Is it just emails or is it Skype chats, or what works well for you?
There are also times, well, most of the time they communicate via email, and to have meetings. They also, we also talk via Skype and sometimes Zoom. So yeah, they constantly make sure that there is this how do I say this? There is this meetings. Constant meetings. Perhaps from the previous work that I had, it was actually he tries to gather us once every week, sometimes once every 2 weeks when he's really busy. But yeah, I think that's a good practice in which clients can actually adopt or apply in their different companies.
Okay, good one to start with, communication, and we might talk about it on another video, but I mean there's a whole bunch of different communication tools. There's Trello, everyone's getting bombarded with adverts about Monday.com, all these sort of tools. Okay, so communication, what would be the next one?
Next one would be oh my god, it's like I'm taking an interview. I think a good client, they actually value the employee's growth. For us, I mean, as workers, we actually feel different when clients show value to our skills. So, for example, web developers or CRM, whatever in which area we are actually focused on, we would really appreciate if clients would send us to some trainings and seminars, because it would add value to our skills. And not just that, I mean, adding value to our skills, it would eventually add something in the company as a return, because and aside from that, of course, we will gain confidence and we would know what the current trend is. So aside from the self-taught, which is we're actually doing, I think it would also be nice if virtual assistants or workers, employees would be sent to some trainings and whatnot to improve their skills.
I think that's a great point. And And I think what you raise there is an interesting sort of mindset, because a lot of people think of virtual assistants as, these remote people who are somehow detached from the business. People watching this, if the penny hasn't dropped yet, a virtual assistant is an integral part of your team. So communication is really important, and skills development, personal development is really important too. Okay, so was that a big hint? What kind of training do you want to do, Maria?
What?
So if you were given the opportunity to do some more development and training, what would you pick?
As for now, because I'm doing the CRM, I would really value trainings about the CRM, Microsoft CRM, because I believe that we haven't really utilized the CRM yet in its fullest potential. So yeah, I guess I would be there.
We shall talk about that later. Okay, so good point. So we talked about open communication. We've talked about, personal development, allowing your virtual assistant to develop professionally. Got another one? Number 3?
Yeah, third, that would be clients. Great clients, I think, are the ones who has this sense of a social responsibility. I mean, who would want to make an impact to the world, to the community that where we are in. Because I believe it's really different for us workers, to be involved in a company that, a company that doesn't just value profit, profit per se, but I mean a company that actually aims to make this world a better place. And yeah, we all know that there is so much inequity, there's so much what do you call this one, poverty in the world. And I think it would be great, to be part of a community that actually would love to make a difference in the world.
That's cool. Oh, that's cool. And in fact, we've had some discussions about this in the past, and we might actually do a separate video on that topic.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, again, it illustrates how a virtual assistant is just like your other staff. They want to be working with a company that's, doing good work for clients, but doing good work outside of that as well. So, no, that's a great point, CSR. You got another one?
Yes, last one. I think that would be clients. I think a great client. He actually or she actually treats his or her employees like human beings. I mean, there are some of my experiences before. Like I've actually experienced this client who thinks that we're robots. And how do I say this? I've actually read one article in this book. I don't know if you're familiar with this, Rob. It's actually Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Mhm. And there were these men who were talking, the directors, CEOs, and they were like, "Oh my God, it's so hard to find, good people who would work with loyalty and stuff like that." And the other guy said in the group, "Well, if they won't listen, then drop the grenades." Then there was this man also in the same group who asked, "Well, if you're gonna drop the grenades, then who's gonna pick up the pieces?" Then that man said, "Well, no, there's no pieces at all." Then the other man said, "Why aren't you?" No. I mean, the other guy said, the same guy who said drop the grenades. He said, if they will not shape up, well, they gotta ship out. So the men were like, "Ooh, they were a bit of amazed." But this guy, the other guy said, "If you're going to do that to your employees, why won't you do that to your clients?" "What clients? You can do that to your clients." Then he made a point, which I think is a very good point. He said, employees, the same as clients, are actually volunteers. So if you want to treat if how you want to treat the customers, don't you think it's the way that you should treat your employees as well? So yeah, I think what makes a good client is actually treating his employees in a humane way, knowing that they have also families, recognizing that they also have what they call this one, that they also have bodies that sometimes gets tired, and what else? Yeah. You can buy people's hands, but you can never buy their hearts. And the thing is, once you get and capture the people's heart, you you won't have you won't you won't have a hard time imposing loyalty to them, because they will just simply give their hearts with full devotion to the whole company if they felt that, okay, I'm going to put my loyalty, my whole heart in this company because they have treated me very well. So I think, yeah, that's it. Laws are very good. Yeah, I think laws are very good. I mean, it's it keeps the company in order and stuff like that. But I think clients should also understand that they're not just dealing with robots. So I think dealing with employees should be, well, yeah, the dialectics, both the the dialectics of objectivity and subjectivity. So yeah, maybe anything.
This is getting yes, we're getting a bit of a deep discussion, but thank you for that. No, I absolutely agree with you 100%. And I think particularly with, and I hate this term virtual assistant. What's virtual about Maria? There is nothing virtual. You are a human being, a wonderful human being that's been working with us for a while, and we'll talk in another video about some of the wonderful things that you do. I think that term virtual assistant is very derogatory, and it kind of maybe makes people think that they've got these kind of robots on the end of emails working for them. Yeah. We've got to come up with another term. All right, so that was 4. Is that it? You got 4?
Yes, 4.
That was really good. And let me reiterate, we didn't rehearse this. I just said, hey, Maria, let's have a chat about good and bad clients. So thank you for that. Can I just summarize? So what you were saying was open communication is really important, and there's lots of different ways of doing that, obviously, with email and phones, and all of our team here in Virtual Done Well have local phone numbers and Skype video chat and all that kind of stuff. So communication, the training and development one, thank you for the reminder on that, and we'll look at some CRM training. But yeah, look, that's really important. So what I try to do with all of our team is say, well, this is what you're doing now, but what would you like to learn and what skills would you like to develop? So we've got to talk about that one. CSR, corporate social responsibility, great one. It's not just your employees, in your local office. It's your virtual employees, using that horrible word, who value this as well. And I love that last one with treating your virtual staff like humans, and the insights from Stephen Covey's book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And you just reminded me, because it's a long time since I read that book. We've actually summarized that book for people. So what we'll do is below this video, we'll put a link where people, if you haven't read, so I don't know which camera to look at. if this one maybe, if you haven't read Stephen Covey's book, we'll put a link below this video where you can go and download a summary of the book. So highlighting the key points. So that's awesome. Thank you, Maria. Sorry to drag you away from work, but I'm sure you didn't mind that for 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, so just a reminder, I hope you really enjoyed those insights from Maria. So hearing the sort of aspect or the perspective, if you like, from a virtual assistant, what makes a good client, and sometimes the frustrating things that clients do. If you found this video of interest, do comment below. I will try my best to answer any questions you have below, and I might even get Maria to help me answer them. And make sure you subscribe, because we have videos coming out every week, and I'd hate for you to miss those. They generally come out on a Wednesday. So thank you for watching. Thank you for Maria for sharing those amazing thoughts, and we'll see you next week.